Why? Why did I have meat just before I was going to fucking record? Hey legends, this is I Am Manifestation. I'm your conscious manifestation coach, Cerise, and I help you get out of your own way so you can manifest your version of an awesome fucking life. In this video, I wanted to go into, look, a bit of tough love stuff, to be perfectly honest with you. I have so many people. I actually had someone on my social media essentially get really shitty with me because they came onto my TikTok. And in the few characters that they had to use on there, they said, I'm 100% on top of my self concept, but still no movement. And I said, maybe have a look over what you've just written and tell me why you think there's no movement. Like, if you're watching my content, I don't really know what you want me to say to that. And I didn't say it in a rude way. Obviously, text can be misconstrued, the tone of things in writing, right? But I said, have another look over the message, the comments that you just put on it was on my story on TikTok, and tell me what you think the issue might be. Tell me if you're 100% on top of your self-concept. And this person got quite shitty with me, and they were like, really? Like, just because I said it one time, you're going to like basically tell me that like blah, 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 and got very defensive about it. And I said, look, I know that the thing that you want means a lot to you. I always say one rainy day does not undo a summer. I always say that if you go off track, if you take a wrong turn, you can always just course correct. You're never starting from square one. But I'm just wondering why you thought to put that in the comment, because I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to course correct your thoughts here. And it is a bit of a theme where people will usually, honestly, and this is like, I always say you don't need to get coaching in order to consciously manifest something, right? But it's usually the people who don't get the coaching that are commenting on like videos or whatever, or asking me in live streams, like saying things or like replying to my stories on Instagram or whatever it might be. I'm 100% on top of my self-concept. Why don't I see anything in the physical world? Firstly, you're never going to be 100% on top of your self-concept. You're never going to catch every single opposing thought. And opposing thoughts are always going to happen to some degree. They are part of our human survival instincts, okay? It's about knowing that they're just there to keep us safe and going, I'm actually safe, reminding ourselves that we're safe, doing the nervous system regulation work, et cetera, all the things that I talk about. But also, like, I call bullshit because you're never going to be 100% on top of it. The motivation behind doing your self-concept work or any of the things that I teach should not be just to get the thing. It should be wanting to be the best version of you, which can always evolve and improve, right? So you'll never be 100%, because like once you get something that you want, you're going to want more, or you're going to want to improve on it, or you're going to want to keep it, right? So there's always work that will need to be done. So that's the first thing. As soon as someone says I'm 100% on it, or I'm being perfect with blah, 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 it's bullshit, because you'll never be 100% or perfect on it. You're perfect as you are. You're inherently allowed to have everything you want, sure. But in terms of being 100% on top of your self-concept and all your thoughts, it's just not going to happen. And that is not a limiting belief. That is ingrained in us as human beings. That's how our brains work. Our brains are wired for survival. So they will try to bring up things to make us feel resistant in case we're presented with a predator like a lion or something like that. Like our brains don't realize that, like, what level of technology and civilization we're at. So when your notifications are constantly going off, it's setting off your anxiety. Why? Because usually the only sort of noises we would hear in terms of where our primal brains are at, are, for example, falling asleep next to a fire out in the open wilderness and hearing an animal step on a twig that could possibly be trying to eat you in your sleep. So think about that, and the constant notifications that you have going off all the time on your phone, on your computer, the noises of the traffic, people talking constantly. If you're in an office, lots of people, like I work in an office for my part-time job, where when everyone's on the phone, I get sensory overload. So there's that. You're never 100% on top. Then as soon as someone says that, I'm like, okay, the fact that you're coming to me from a place of anxiety that I can feel literally radiating off the screen is telling me that you're nowhere near as far along in your self-concept and your new story and all that shit as you think you are. And it's not to have a go at you, okay? I'm never having a go. I've been there. Okay. But the anxiety is radiating off the screen so much that I know that you're sitting at home going, I'm loved, I'm worthy, I'm loved. If you're still anxious after doing all of that self-concept work and all that affirming, I'm going to make a pretty good guess probably that you're not doing nervous system regulation work, because if those things were embedding into your subconscious, you would not be anxiously writing a comment on social media saying, I'm 100% on top of my self-concept. Why don't I have the thing yet? The person, the situation that I want. And this is exactly why I say to do your nervous system regulation work, because so many of you think that you're totally fine when you're actually running on high alert and you don't realize, because in the modern age that we're at, things are setting off our anxieties that have got us in a constant state of anxiety. And it's not until you actually do the nervous system regulation work often that you feel the calm afterwards and go, oh, yeah, okay. Now, so this is normal. This is neutral. This is cool, calm, collected. Okay. So just do it. Even if you don't think you're anxious, guaranteed if you're writing something in a comment right now to me on social media that says anything that I've just said or along the lines of what you need to do your nervous system regulation work. You do. And the self-concept work, again, is not just I am affirmations. It's treating yourself how you want to be treated. And the pure act of constantly commenting things like, where is it? Why don't I see it yet? What am I doing wrong? Blah, 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 is not coming from a place of knowing that it's yours. Now, do you have to believe to have it? No, you've heard me say in other videos, if you've watched my shit before, you don't have to believe, you just have to not disbelieve. It's the disbelief and the opposing thoughts that you let continue, not just the one that pops up every now and then. The disbelief and the ones that pop up that you allow to continue and to end up a spiral that are building a dam in the way of your manifestation, stopping your manifestation from flowing through or reinforcing the dam, right? So you could do a bit of work to like chip away at it with some affirmations, and then you start to spiral. Or you start to doubt, you chip away at it, and then you start to doubt, and then it reinforces the dam again. So I'm not saying this to encourage you to be hard on yourself. I'm not having a go at you. I'm actually wanting you to be more patient with yourself, and I'm wanting you to want to be happy in your current moment as much as you can. Do you have to feel good to manifest? No. Do you have to feel what it feels like to have the thing that you want? No. Is it going to be a hell of a lot fucking easier for you to stay on top of your thoughts, to feel more comfortable with the new story that you're telling yourself, to think less about the when and the how, to be able to live more easily from the end without feeling like you have to micromanage the middle? Yes, it's going to be so much easier when you feel good. Do you have to feel good all the time? No. Okay. It sounds like you're adding more work to things, which is why I think people are resistant to the cheat codes that I share, right? Because it's like at the self-concept, which most conscious manifestation coaches are talking about these days anyway, right? But again, a lot of them talking about it in the sense of I am affirmations and that's it. But it's not just that. It's not just your thoughts about you, your world, the people in your world, and you in relation to all those things. It's how do you treat yourself? Because how you treat yourself is how everyone else treats you as well. Okay, so that's a little extra element to it. And so I know that it sounds like, do the self-concept work on top of just affirming, and then do the nervous system regulation work on top of that, and then do the things that you enjoy, the feel-good things on top of that. It sounds like a lot of extra things, but I'm telling you, firstly, you'll enjoy doing them because you feel better anyway. So you'll just want to do those sorts of things more because you feel better, you feel more calm, you're enjoying your life more, et cetera, et cetera. But then they also make the thoughts part so much less labor intensive. So stop fighting me on it, because so many of my clients who have fought me on it come back to me when they finally are at their wits' end and decide to finally give it a go and go, oh, you were right, which I love hearing. But, I don't want you to get to the point where you're burnt out or over it or hating life or not going out anywhere because you're too fucking scared of like doing or saying the wrong thing, et cetera, before you do something that I'm recommending to you that'll help prevent you from getting to those places, right? So let's take a fucking breath right now. Another one. Ready? In with me. Okay. Have some patience with yourself, because when you're putting the pressure on it, you are keeping it at bay. When you are looking constantly at the current circumstances, you are holding it in play. I'm sure I can make an Instagram post out of that rhyme. Okay, double slit experiment. I've probably mentioned this on a video before, but I'm going to say it again. We know it's an experiment. It's not the double slit theory, it's the double slit experiment. We know that energy is in waves until we observe it, and then it becomes particle, solid matter. So if you're constantly looking at the thing, person, or situation going, are you changing it? Are you changing it? Why haven't you changed it? Why haven't they changed yet? You're holding them as that version in play, which is why a lot of people find when they go no contact, it's a lot easier. And no contact doesn't just mean not talking to them. It means not fucking looking at their social media and what they're up to and checking in with people to see, like, if you can hear if there's any progress with the thing, person, or situation. Are they changing? That's all contact in the way that I'm speaking. No contact will give you a chance to be able to stick to the news story without having to add the extra work of having to counteract what you're currently seeing in your physical world when you know yourself, right? Whether or not it's making you anxious, sending you into spirals, etc. You're worried about doing the extra work of the self-concept and the nervous system regulation and the feel-good things that you'll enjoy that'll make you feel better in your life and about yourself in general and make the thought process easier. But you're doing these other things that are actually making the thought process so much harder by looking at the social media and doing the investigating and asking where it is and talking to psychics and tarot card readers and things like that. Think about it. I posted a static post on my Instagram the other day that said, choose your hard. You're thinking, oh, it's so much extra work to do that what Cerise is recommending. But you're actually making more work for yourself, refusing to do those things and allowing the old story to spiral and investigating and looking at things that are upsetting you constantly and throwing you off your thoughts. That's actually so much work and sounds way less enjoyable to me. I don't know what's like. Am I taking crazy pills? Let me know the movie reference. I like to do that at work in emails. Okay, so that was a little bit of a rant. Okay, again, I'm never attacking anyone. I've been there. I have, and I sympathize. But again, the whole point of me teaching this is to help you avoid the pitfalls and the delays and the walls that I created for myself preemptively. So you don't have to get there first before you do the things I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting them to stop you from, to help you. Help me help you. Okay. Nothing works just by taking in all the information constantly and never putting anything into practice. Now, as a lot of you all have heard me say, I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible, which includes creating content on these free platforms, okay? But the way the free platform shit works is if you want me to put the time and energy, my personal time and energy, into making this content, like, share, comment, and or subscribe. Please. I hate asking, but that's how this free platform shit works, okay? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. You're a fucking legend. Don't you ever forget it. And until next time, have a good one. Say therapy, it's best. Oh my God. Fuck right off.